Right, hello again. Here we are up on the footbridge at Milton Keynes. We're going to walk down to the ramp down to platform 4, and we're catching the 1518 Pendolino down to London Euston, calling up Watford Junction. Here we go. Down we go. And it will be an 11 coach train, so we need to go right down to the bottom of the platform to catch it. There's a Pendolino over on the other platform, mind the sign. Right, she'll be arriving at about 15:16. It's now 15:10, 15:11 just turned. So we've got a few minutes. Now the Pendolino is, I think I really like the Pendolino. It's a nice train to drive. It's also a nice train to ride in. And it's the train that tilts on the curves, which is quite nice. It's quite not a peculiar feeling, but when the train tilts, it's different. And we'll be looking at that as we travel down. As we go around a sharp curve, we'll have a look on the outside and see the train tilted over. We're waiting for the train to come in now. And this is, I don't know about the other trains, but this train, the Pendolino, has got a button on it which is called speed set, and it acts like a cruise control on a car. When you reach the desired speed, you press the speed set button and the train holds that speed until you start braking. So we're here now waiting for the train. It's now just gone past 15:12. I thought we'd do it this way instead of joining the game straight into the cab. We get a couple of minutes longer this way, just to get in the cab and look around and get everything set up. Now we will be using all the safety systems on the train, and normally you get out of the driver's seat, go to the back wall and switch all the safety systems in one at a time. I think there's about 4 or 5 to switch in. But there is a shortcut on the keyboard you can use, and that's Control and Enter. Press Control and Enter and all the safety systems switch on for you, which is a lot easier. Saves a bit of time as well, because switching in all the individual ones takes a bit of time, and then you've got to get back in the driver's seat again. So we're just going to wait here now until the train comes in. I know in a few minutes, or in a couple of minutes, there'll be a freight train coming up from down there. It'll be an intermodal, class 66 intermodal with containers on. And then while we're waiting at the platform to go, we have a class 350 coming in on the down main. Now I think this is ours coming in now at 15:13 and 49. Here she comes. So we'll just get ready, wait for the train to stop, and then we'll board. Now the other driver actually gets out here, so he'll be gone when we get into the cab. But he does leave his key, and he leaves her switched in as well, so but we can alter that and take the key out and start it back up again. Here she comes. There's the door we require. Not bad. Now when you open these, I love the way the step comes out there. That's really a nice little touch. Right, let's board the train. Turn round. Close the door. And down this passageway. This is for bikes and parcels, things like that. Down to the door, open, and into the cab. As you can see, the driver's gone. We shall jump in the seat, get started. Right, here we go. The time is 15:15, that's nice. Well, we'll close this door behind us. And the controls are knocked in, so we'll take them back out a bit, down to off. We'll take the key out, as if we're starting from fresh. Put the key in, and we'll just go into the forward positions because we should. Oh no, we've still got a red light. So by rights we need to go to there, and we should press the, I don't know where it is. The driver's reminder, safety reminder device. Never mind. Right, got to cancel that warning we just had. Oh, that's right, do that. There we go. Cancel that. Wait for the lights to go out. We have to cancel it again. That's right. We've got a green light now. Unlock the doors. There we go. Doors. Right. Cancel that again. And then press the red flashing light, and that enables all the task system. It's a sort of speed control, so it doesn't allow the driver to go over the speed limits or over the speed the maximum speed limit set for the line, something like that. Right, deregister the previous setting from the previous driver. Bit fiddly this. That's it. That's deregistered. Now we go in, press the on button again, and that registers it for us. Now normally a driver would put his own code in there when he registers, but this one has a code of 998 for all the drivers, I think. There we are. In the game anyway. Right, we've got headlights. Well, let's do the Control Alt. There we go. That's the safety systems in. There's the freight train going through. We'll have a look on the outside. Yeah, the lights are on at the front. Lights are on at the back. Back into the cab, and we're ready to go. There is the speed set button I told you about. We will be using that when the train reaches 125 miles an hour. I will click on that. Right, time to close the doors. All the passengers are on. Right, time to go. Here we go. Take her up to P3. Position 3 on the throttle. Nearly said accelerator. On the throttle. Here's the throttle. Combine throttle and brake. Pull it back towards you in that direction for the throttle. Take it back that way for the brakes. And there's the dividing mark. You can see the four notches for the throttle and the positions for the brake, which for the moment passes. I can't think about what they are. Notches for accelerating, that's it, and steps for braking. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the Pendolino, and then you go into emergency. But anyway, we're away. We'll go up to notch 4 for the brake, for the throttle, and away we go. Let's have a quick look at the outside as we pull away from the station. There we are. I do like the Avanti logo. I think it's quite nice. There we go. I think we've actually got an 8-coach train. 1, 2, 3, or could be 8. Right. Back into the cab. Position the mouse correctly so it looks right. Very sensitive, the mouse on this game. Right, you can see the overhead power lines. 25,000 volts. And if there are any young people that are watching this, please take my advice and don't mess around in goods yards and things like that, whether there's power cables there or not. Highly dangerous. And if you get on top of a train with overhead cables like this, there is 25,000 volts in that cable, and if you get within 9 foot of it, it will arc across to you and fry you like a crisp. So take my advice, do not mess around with trains in goods yards. Besides that, it's against the law, it's trespass. Right, we're coming up to 95 miles an hour, still accelerating. When we get to 125, I'll put the step button in. But I do have to keep an eye on the speed limit. I know as we're approaching Watford Junction there is a speed limit of 110 miles an hour, which we have to be below, but then we'll be braking all the way in for Watford anyway. I don't know what all these intervening stations are that we're travelling through. I'm going to have to get a bit of paper and write all the names down, I think, until I learn them properly. As I said, this is only the 3rd time I've done a video, so if I make any mistakes, you'll have to forgive me. And I do apologise if I'm rambling as well. Right, now we're travelling 113 miles an hour. Here's the desk in front of us. Over here, the green button, the grey button and the white light, that's your pantograph up and down controls. I'm not going to do it because the train will come to a stop and it's quite a confusing thing to get them back up again. Right, 19, I'm going to go down to the speed set button, get ready for it. 121, where am I there? Where is it? Right, 120. Now, come on. Three, 24, 125. There, the speed button has been pressed and it should now hold us at 125 till we get to the 110 mile an hour speed reduction. And that's 25 miles time. Looks like it's a lovely sunny day. I always, when I'm playing this game, whether it's on this route or any other route, I always choose custom weather and choose it sunny with a little bit of cloud in the sky. I can't be doing all this rain, fog and snow that got built into the game. You can start off in fine sunshine and within 10 miles you're knee deep in snow, and I can't be doing for that. So I just like to keep it to the pleasant, clear weather. Fair weather driver, that's me. And you can hear the AWS going off as we approach signals. As you approach a green signal, the AWS will always give you a bell just to tell you that you are approaching a green signal. You don't have to do anything, just know that it's coming up. If you get any other signal other than a green, you get, as you go over the AWS, it gives you a warning horn, not a bell. And then you've got 2.8 seconds to cancel that or acknowledge that warning horn. If you don't acknowledge it within the 2.8 seconds, the brakes come in automatically and will stop the train. And then you've got to mess around coming out of your forward reverse, and taking the key out and putting the key back in and going back in just to get the train to move again. So, but we shouldn't need it. There's a 350 on our right hand side, class 350. Now when we get down to Watford Junction, that is the start of what you might call the suburban London lines, and you'll see those over on the right hand side. And there'll be two types of trains. There'll be your your Class 710 overground train, but there'll also be your Bakerloo 1972 stock underground trains, because they run down that line as well. So holding at 125 nicely, 20 miles to go, and everything is looking clear. There's the bell for the green signal. While we're doing this, we can, if it's a warm day, you can actually open up the windows outside and outside. That's a bit of fresh air into the cab, although you have got air conditioning in here, and it is supposed to, well, it does work for the real drivers obviously, but all we get is a bit more noise. You can hear the train better. They've got a nice sounding horn on these. There we go. Again. Now, when there was a rule on British Rail at one time for drivers that when you approached a tunnel, you had to sound your horn, and then when you were exiting the tunnel, just before you exited the tunnel, you had to sound your horn again. And if it was a long tunnel, you would have to sound your horn periodically as you pass through the length of the tunnel. But I believe all that has been scrapped now. They don't do it any longer. What's that? That's another 350. That's on the down slow line. We're on the up fast. The line to the right of us is the down fast, and the two lines on the left of us are the up slow and down slow. You'd use the up slow and down slow if you were driving a stopper where you were stopping at all the stations. I must try that. I haven't tried that on this route yet. I must give that a go. Got to keep your concentration when you're doing that, I think. Can't be going flying through a station. Right, if we look on the outside now, coming into a bend, you can see the train tilting over. You can see the bogies there sticking out at the left hand side of the carriage or the cab, and it's not sticking at that side, it's tucked in. That shows you the train is actually tilting as it goes into the curve. And when it comes out of the curve like it is now, have a quick look, there she is straightening back up again, and the bogies are going back in line like that. There we are. So these do tilt over in game, which is quite nice. They did try it originally with what they call the APT, the Advanced Passenger Train, but that used to make people sick for some reason, so they discontinued it. I think there might have been a get out of that, I don't know. Didn't work anyway, so they scrapped it. Although I believe they have got a version of the APT somewhere at one of the railway museums. I can't remember which one. Could be York, or it could be Didcot. Right, we've got 14 miles to go to Watford Junction. Right, like I said, over there you've got the pantograph controls. Over here you've got your light controls, your external lights. Down here are your door switches for opening and close buttons. Passenger doors enabled. And then down here you've got your couple and your uncouple buttons. Over here you've got your light position showing you what lights you've got on. What we've got up here, I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's go in a bit closer. Select door enable all cars. Passenger alarm is healthy. We're 12 miles. Let's go back. Now I know Dovetail Games have brought into Train Sim World 5 conductor mode, where if you so choose, you don't have to be the driver, you click on being the conductor, and then when the train is travelling you have to walk through and check tickets and other things like that. You get baggage left in the aisle and you have to shift it. But to my way of thinking, Dovetail, this is only my thoughts, Dovetail Games haven't perfected it completely yet. There are quite a few bugs in it, and it does cause problems. So I have tried it a couple of times. On one of the times I got out of the train to check all the doors are closed, and my door closed by itself and the train went away and left me standing on the platform. So that was obviously a bug, it shouldn't have done that. So I'm giving conductor mode a miss at the moment, but we will try it one day. We will give it a go and see what it works like. I did try conductor mode on the Cardiff City network, but there you've really got to shift because you only get a couple of minutes between the stations to get all the tickets checked. It's quite heady work. Right, 8.5 miles, 8.4 miles now from Watford. I'm watching out for this 110 mile speed restriction. And if we're lucky, we might see the warning board for it coming up ahead. Now we'll leave it like this. It's okay. Keep it like this. We'll see it coming up on the right hand side of the screen anyway. Top right hand corner. You'll see the 110 mile restriction coming up. Right, 7.3 miles. There's the Pendolino going the other way. Like I say, I was a guard for 10 years on British Rail and with one of the private train operating companies down on the Western region. I worked for 10 years as a guard, and I gave that up because I moved up where I'm living now to get married. So here we go. So I know a bit about the railway, mainly through the 90s. I mean, it privatised in around about 93, 94, and I joined in 1989, so I spent time on it with British Rail and time on it with the passenger operating companies. I'm watching out for the speed limit now because it'll be coming up in a minute. 5.6 miles from Watford Junction. I'm still watching for it because I don't want to miss it. It'll be tea and biscuits with the manager if I miss it. Oh, there it is, just coming up now. Tea and biscuits with the manager. Sorry, I've stolen that saying from Richard on Dad Rail. I hope he doesn't mind, and I ask his forgiveness if he does mind. But I like the saying, tea and biscuits with the manager. Right, let's start slowing down with this 110. Come down through the notches for the power and down into the steps for the brake. We'll go to step brake 4 and she'll start slowing down now. Coming down now, so I can cut it down a bit. There we are, 112, 111, 110. Keep a little bit of power on now. Drop it down to notch 1. We got plenty of time to get to Watford anyway. Right, let's come down now below 110 so that we're not actually speeding. Here we go, down to 108. That's it. Now you should see the 110 mile sign come up in a second. See the warning board? Just gone by now. There it is. Right, now we're 2.4 miles from Watford. So I'm going to start bringing the speed down a bit now. Here's a tunnel, we'll do the old one. Oh, I was a bit late. Couldn't find the right button. But we are slowing down. That's what the driver used to have to do, going through tunnels. And then just before you came out of the tunnel at the other end, you had to do the sound again, do the horn again. But they don't do it anymore. They will do it there, that'll do. Right, 1.3 miles, we've got to really start slowing down now. Here we are. Right, we're cruising. I've slowed it down a bit early because the last time I did this I went straight through Watford Junction. That's the old the warning horn for the double yellow. And we should get that for the single yellow down here as well, because that was a double yellow. Next signal should be a single yellow. Well, no, it'll probably be a double yellow now because it's changed again. I do like the way they built the suspension into this game as well. Here we go. There it is. Right, bring the speed down now. A little bit fast coming into the station, so I'll leave it in there a bit now. Right, now I can bring this, do that again. Brake 2, yeah, it's coming in nicely. Come off the brakes a bit, just let it roll down a bit further. Now let's say we're 11 coach train, so we have to go to the end of the platform. There we are, coming down, coming down, coming down a bit more. That'll do, come on, yeah, that'll do, lovely. We'll take that, that's a good stop, wonderful. Open doors on the left. Got a green signal, have a look. And the passengers, there they go, all the passengers are getting out. Well, they will do in a minute because the doors are open. Well, that's weird because last time I did this run there were loads of passengers getting off the train. Couldn't move on the platform for passengers. Right, we'll wait from here at 15:39. It's just 15:37 and a half. We've got 1.5 minutes. So we'll go back into the cabin. This little thing up here is what they call the sunflower. And when you get a green signal, that goes completely black. If you get any other signal, it goes to the black and yellow. That's why they call it the sunflower. So at the moment it's black and yellow because our last signal was a double yellow. Then when we go past, well, we've gone past the ramp for this green signal. So when we go past the next one, when we go over the next AWS ramp, we should get a black disc there completely. Right, let's start closing the doors, I think. Been long enough. Doors are closing. Got a green signal, we're okay to go. Just wait for 15:39. There it is. Right, we can go. And away we go. Next stop, London Euston in 15 miles. Men there in orange uniforms or in orange high visibility should always sound your horn. They should acknowledge it, but they don't in the game. But if you're on the track in high visibility clothing and the driver approaching in the train sounds his horn, you are supposed to stick your hand up to acknowledge that sounding of the horn. Right, we're up to 110. We've got to go up to 110. There we are. And we've still got the windows open so you can hear the noise of the train. As the electric motors wind up. Right, it's going to get a bit busy approaching London because we've got a set of speed restrictions graduated down to 25 miles an hour to enter at Euston. So I'll try and keep with it and talk to you at the same time, but if I do go quiet, my apologies. I'll be concentrating. Now I like coming into London Euston. You've got all the platforms there and you come in, you've got the buffers at the end. The only problem with it is when you get off the train and you walk up the ramp to the concourse, if you do it in real life, you get to walk up that ramp onto the concourse, the place is heaving with passengers. But in the game there's not a soul on the concourse at all. And that is something, again, I think Dovetail games need to address. It's like a ghost town. Right, when we get up to 125, we will stick the speed step in again, or speed set, I should say. But we won't have to keep it in for very long because we'll be approaching speed restrictions. Right, just coming up to 100 miles an hour. And we're on time, so we should arrive in London Euston a minute or two early, depending on if our platform is blocked by another train or not. If our platform is blocked by another train, then we'll have to wait outside on a red signal till the platform clears. Another green signal coming up. We got the bell, the warning bell. Right, 118, so I'll get ready to go down to the speed set button in a second. 120, 21. Let's just drop down here to get near the button. 23, 24. 25, press the button. Button's been pressed, speed set is on. There we go, so, oh, it's just nipped up to 126, just dropped back down to 125. It's only 11 miles to go, so it won't be long. 15:43 now, we're due in at 15:54. But I'm watching for speed restrictions. I'm terrible at that. Tea and biscuits with the manager. Don't want to do that. There you are, London Underground. Bakerloo line. Comes out as far as Watford Junction. I'm not sure why we got two bells when we were coming out of that station. There's the class 710, that's the overground system. not keen on driving those 710s, although I have, I have driven them in game, but I'm not keen on them. But I do like the Pendolino. Another one I'm not very good with is the high-speed Southern line. That's what you might call the HS1 down to Ashford in Kent and then down to Folkestone for the crossing of the Eurotunnel. They've got a weird speed system, or because you're travelling faster than the good driver can see the signals, they've got what they call in-train speed systems, and it's a bit confusing. You get lights and speeds flashing at you and things like that. It'd be worth having a go at it again though. I've done it a couple of times. Right, speed restriction of 110 coming up. So I'm going to come down out from control of the, so just bringing a bit of brake. And this is Wembley Central we're going through. That was Wembley Central, bit of work going on the right hand side there. Right, let's bring the speed down a bit more now. That's 113. Just dropped to 112. I've not got any brakes on at the moment. We're just coasting in what you might call neutral. We've got no power on. We've got no brakes on. But I'll just bring it down to brake step 1, and that'll bring us down 110. I'll bring it down to about 108 just to stay below the speed limit. Take it off. There we are, 108 miles an hour. We were going downhill, we're not now, we're on the level. Just going to go into the speed limit now. Here's the speed limit sign coming up now on our left. There it is. 110. Still got green signals, so we'll get a yes. Those other ramps you see, one there in the centre of the track, that's the TPWS system. Train Protection and Warning System. Right, we've got 105 coming up now, but we're down to 106 anyway. So we'll keep the power on for a little bit. And you can see we've got 80 mile an hour coming up. So as we get to 105, I'll continue going, slowing it down for the 80. That white disc you saw with a black diagonal bar, that's what they call a banner repeating signal. It shows you what the signal is ahead on a curve where you can't actually see the actual signal. You have a repeater signal like that to show you. Right, here we go. We're coming down to 102. We'll just put the power in a bit. 103. Coming down to what, and I'm going to slow her down for 80 mile an hour now. That's the 105 we've just gone by. Got to come down to 80. Here we're on 90. It's coming down. Coming down. There are 77, that was quick. That was my fault, I pressed the wrong button, I put more brakes on than I wanted to. Now we've got a 55 coming up. That's the warning horn, because we've got a yellow signal coming up. Well, actually it's gone green already. Oh, I'm speeding, shouldn't be doing that. Come on, get out, that's it. Oh, that was annoying. Me not watching the speed limits. Right, we're coming up to this 55. And we've got a red signal ahead of us. and that might be because the platform is blocked. The platform is being used. Just keep power on a little bit. Sorry about that juddering on the video. That's my graphics card playing up. I think I've told you before that the graphics card on this computer is not quite up to the standard needed to run the game properly. So sometimes it does hang up. Right, coming towards the 55. Oh no, the red signal's gone, we're alright. There's the 55 there. Into the tunnel. That's a glitch in the game where they saw the end of the tunnel and then it disappeared again. Now this is the proper end of the tunnel coming up now. Coming up to 50. Speed restriction 50 mile an hour. Then we've got to come down to 40, which we are doing slowly. There's a banner repeater again, because you can't see the signal around the corner. Now in a minute, as we come up to the 25, we actually start going downhill into Euston, and it's quite a steep gradient going down, so we have to watch the speed to make sure we don't go over the speed limit. We got what, 3.5 minutes. I'll put a bit of power on because we're slowing down too much. There we are, got back up to the 40. It's double yellow. Coming up, there's the ramp, so we'll get the warning horn. There it is, cancelled. There we are, we've got a 9% gradient going down, so we will actually speed up. So I've got to keep the brakes on now, or on and off. Right, we've got a ramp again. Oh, there isn't one. That's naughty. Right, 25, 25. Above the speed limit. Oh, yes. Come on, get down to 25. That's it. We're speeding a bit there. Right, we're dropping downhill now into Euston. And we're keeping an eye on the speed. It's up to 22, it'll climb up to 23 in a minute. There it goes. Put a bit of brake in just to hold her back. 1.4% gradient, which is quite steep coming into a main station with terminus platforms. Alright, take the brakes off for a bit so we can run in. And we're coming in with the doors on the right hand side of the train. Just that one little error on that speed Tea and biscuits with the manager. Right, let's dropping it down a bit now. That's it, it's coming down. Don't want to come in too fast. If you come in too fast, the automatic brakes will go on. Bring it down a bit more. Brakes off for a short while. Brakes back on, off. Just slowing it down. Down to 6. I'll hold her there for a minute. They're running. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. There we are. Open doors on the right. Loading passengers. I didn't see any passengers on the platform, but there you go. Right, once the passengers are loaded, it'll tell me to close the doors. When I close the doors, it will then tell me what I've got, whether I've got a gold medal or a platinum medal or a silver, or not a bronze, I hope, but let's have a look. Right, lock doors. There we go. Doors are shutting. What do we get? Nothing. That's because I did it by walking on foot down onto the platform at Milton Keynes, but it will show me what it is when I get out onto the main screen. Right, okay, we can go on to continue, and we can now return to free roam and shut the train down. Right, first of all, we'll take off. Now we don't want hazard lights, we want exterior tail lights, thank you very much. Now we need to take the brakes up to B6. We will then take that off, and we will take the key out. There we go, and that's this end of the train is completely shut down. We've still got the pantograph up because the white light is on. We don't shut that down, we leave it up for the power. There we are, we've got red lights at the end now instead of the marker and the headlights. So now we can leave the train. Up we get. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll close the windows up, because you don't want to leave the windows open when down here when the train's going in the opposite direction. Right, open. Walk down to the end. Right, we'll open the doors. There they go. Driver's doors open. Out we get. And we close the door up again. Train looks dirty, doesn't it? Look at it. I didn't do that. Should have washed it properly when they washed it this morning. If they would have washed it this morning, I don't know. Here we go. Right, you can hear people talking. But when you get up here to the main concourse, there's nobody up here at all. Oh, empty. You can't even walk over there. I remember catching a train here with the wife, a few months ago now, and we actually sat on those seats that are over there. Well, I sat over there while the wife went up onto the first floor to go and buy something. And then when she came back down, we sat there and waited for our train to come. And then when this train was due in, we stood here. And then when the train was advertised, we were able to walk straight down on the platform and get a good seat. So there you go. That was Milton Keynes to Euston, 1518 departure from Milton Keynes. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. Sorry about the speed restriction that I missed. but I'll catch you again on another video.